Toastmasters District 114 and all the invited guests on this very ungodly hour of the morning. It is it's a privilege and a true honor to have you joining us so early in the morning. Now, what are we talking about today? Teacon 2024. It's all about Teacon. And that, for those who do not know, Teacon simply means the Toastmasters East African Conference, which is just around the corner. From the 9th to the 11th of May, 2024, we shall all be converging at the Pride in Paradise Hotel in Mombasa, Raha, for our stupendous annual conference, which promises to be nothing short of fun, network, learning, and so much more. Our hashtag this year is Teacon for me. Coincidentally, Toastmasters International is celebrating 100 years of empowering individuals to be the best version of themselves. Now, talking of the best version of themselves, my panel this morning comprises of the ultimate power trio who have ostentatiously taken their experience in Toastmasters to the next level and taken Toastmasters to an exponential level in their personal as well as their professional levels. Without much ado, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to this beautiful, awesome trio as we delve deeper into today's conversation. Welcome, each and every one of you. I would like to start by introducing the three of them, starting with ladies first. That is Emily Manjeru, Donald Bosire, and joining in is Eric Murithi. Let me give us a brief bio of who these people really are. I start with the ladies. Emily Manjeru. Emily Manjeru has been a Toastmaster for the last 5 years. Currently, she is a member of Rafiki Toastmasters Club. Now, who is Emily Manjeru? Professionally, she is a communications manager at the Africa Smile Train, which is the largest left-focused organization. She is a phenomenal conversationist, award-winning public speaker, and experienced television presenter. Emily has been a communications consultant for several years for several blue chip companies and non-governmental organizations for the last 13 years. Well, guess what? We all know this. There's no further introduction needed. Emily was a triple champion for the Toastmasters International District 114 speech contest at the 2023 Teacon held in Dar es Salaam last year. Emily has a compelling personality, and that drives stimulating and thought-provoking discussions. Now that is Emily Manjeru for you. The second very awesome panelist is Donald Bosire. Now, for most people, Donald doesn't need much introduction. But for those who do not know Donald, Donald has been in Toastmasters for over 16 years. Wow. Currently, he is a member of Summer Toastmasters Club. Donald is a co-founder and a director of Engage, which is Africa's largest homegrown storytelling platform. Donald works in financial services, and he thrives in all things strategy, strategic projects, and management projects, alongside being a certified executive coach. What defines Donald as a Toastmaster? Donald says that his love for storytelling and its impact, that is transforming the heart and the soul of society. Now that is what drives Donald. Welcome, Donald Bosire. It's a pleasure having you on this call. And lastly but not least is a very outgoing Eric Murithi. Eric has been in Toastmasters for the last 7 years. He was the Rafiki Toastmasters. He was the founding president of Rafiki Toastmasters. Currently, he's at Nyali Toastmasters. So who is Eric Muridi? Eric is the managing director of Blaze Consultancy, which is a pan-African employee engagement and experiential staff motivation firm. He is a professional public speaker, a trainer, and a professional MC. He has been the past divisional director and club growth director. Eric is a mentor, community, and thought leader, as well as he tells me that his main hobby is speaking to inspire. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly let's give a warm of applause to our panelists for today. And you can be sure we're going to have a great time as they respond to different questions and convince you why you need to be in Teacon 2024. Let me shoot up some questions to our panelists, starting with the ladies, of course. Straight up, Emily Manjeru, at a personal and professional level, how has Toastmasters shaped your life? Over to you, Emily.
Thank you, Pascalia. Good morning, everyone. It really is a pleasure to be here this beautiful Wednesday morning, the last Wednesday of Valentine's month. And it is definitely one of those moments that I've been looking forward to. So at a professional life and at a personal life, let me start with my personal life. When I was growing up, I've always been the shortest in the room, and at many times people would ignore what I have to say because they wouldn't really see me. But I thought that it would be about time that I got seen through my voice. So every single time, whenever I have an opportunity to, I use my voice as well as my public speaking experience to be able to inspire. At a professional level, after joining Toastmasters, I wasn't so sure where I was going with this. In fact, when I was introduced to Toastmasters by the one and only Eric, I was very hesitant about it. He came and told me, "Really, you seem like you can be a good communicator. Why don't you just join our meeting happening behind the wall?" In that moment, I thought to myself, I've been a TV presenter before. I really don't see where the need is. Until I got into that room, and every single time I spoke, I would do and then I would hear a glass. And that would irritate me. I'm thinking to myself, why is this person clinking this glass all the time? Until I noticed that infractions and interruptions in a speech can make it very difficult for people to follow you. So at a personal and professional level, why I joined Toastmasters is just to grow. And it has helped me because I get to be more self-aware of when I'm making infractions, of when I am being eloquent, of when I need to be clear, and of when I need to use my voice. Back to you, Pascalia.
Thank you very much. To grow and to become self-aware of who you are as you're making your speeches. Donald Busire, outside of a typical Toastmasters environment, how has your Toastmasters experience helped grow you in the marketplace?
Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be here. The thing about Toastmasters that is definitive is the fact that it provides a very safe environment to grow. And for me, the thing that drew me to Toastmasters was exactly that. The fact that I was able to grow my ability and my skill, to level up my ability to speak better, communicate better, and be a better leader because I have a team to lead our work. And outside of the Toastmasters environment, I think what Toastmasters has done for me best is to be able to show me that indeed, if I'm deliberate in my efforts to communicate and lead better, it shows. There's results, there's impact. And the greatest impact has been my ability to connect to my team, my ability to demonstrate my work and to be able to connect better across the board, whether horizontally or vertically. And that has been the greatest impact Toastmasters had, because then again, the feedback that I received from the time that I joined Toastmasters was really the ability to lead better. and to communicate better. And again, but what better way to grow in your career than your ability to show that indeed the skills that you say that you have are skills that you can demonstrate. Pascalia?
Thank you. Ability to lead and to communicate better. Eric Mureithi. Toastmasters is celebrating 100 years of empowering individuals. Would you know, or would you tell us what you suppose has been its staying power for 100 years? Eric.
Thank you, Pascalia. Good morning, everybody. It's so good to be here with Toastmasters greats. Toastmasters celebrating a century. And did you know that any artist who sells 1 million CDs is called a platinum artist? And a lot of the Kenyans that you think are platinum artists, you know, the big superstars are not. They've not sold 1 million CDs. The guys who've sold are the guys in River Road, you know, the guys in the back streets, because they've specialized in the art of knowing their audience. And most of their audience want something that is affordable, something that has a big ring, something that basically they can use every day. And I think that's what Toastmasters has done well. They have excelled in the ability of coming up with skills that can be applied outside of the club. That today, when I'm speaking with my wife, I can use the feedback principle to talk to her. I just don't go out and criticize what she's doing. You know, I want to speak to her in a way that empowers her, in a way that leaves her inspired and motivated. That I can go and moderate a church function using the skills that I have learned as a Toastmaster of the day. You know, that I can go and lead outside there a meeting using skills that you learn in a Toastmasters club of coming up with an agenda that is minute by minute critical. And that's really what makes Toastmasters different. The ability to have skills that are transferable in every aspect of society, whether it's a family, a community, a business, an organization, and even a nation. You know, we've heard of presidents who've been mentored by Toastmasters. Don Bosire is here. You know, he runs a platform that people use to express their stories. And I think that's really what makes Toastmasters Toastmasters. Skills that are applicable anywhere, really skills for life. It's a literal life skills platform or movement, if you may. Back to you, Pascalia.
Thank you, Eric. Skills which are applicable in everyday's life. I couldn't have put it better than that, because we all know, anyone who is a Toastmaster on this call, you know how you've been utilizing the various skills you've been using, and they are diverse wherever you are. Even tells us that even in your marriage, you can actually use Toastmaster skills. Now, that's a first one. But I think I should also apply it in my marriage. I think it will work. Thank you so much, Eric. Emily, back to you. In last year's Teacon, which was held in Jerusalem, you practically brought the house down with your triple win. Congratulations once again. Now tell us, how has this win helped you to transform in your professional as well as in your personal life? Has everybody been coming and saying, Madam, can you train me? Can you do this? Can you do this? Please help us know, how did it feel, first of all, and how has it transformed your life?
Thank you. And I'd like to, first of all, before answering you, express my heartfelt gratitude to my mentors, to everyone who took time to mentor me, to coach me, to give me feedback as I was practicing along the way. Winning is great, guys. Winning feels so good because then it shows that the amount of effort, the amount of passion that you put into something does pay off. It's not the first time that I had contested, to be honest. And the first time I contested, I didn't get past area. And I thought to myself, I didn't get past area. What's going on? So I thought to myself, the next time I'm coming back, I want to spring back stronger, bigger, better. When I was on that stage, I can tell you I was very anxious. I was going up against the top speakers in East Africa. When you think about the magnitude of that stage and the amount of effort that you have to put, you really do appreciate the sheer confidence, the sheer courage to face yourself and get there. So I'd like to really thank everyone who was there for me, morally, financially, even spiritually, and time-wise to get to that stage. So winning 3 contests is great, but then it tells you what's next, because the question will always be, so what have you done? To try and answer your question, yes, there have been many times that I have been called to share in my insights, in my experience. But the one thing that I will always give as feedback is, to whom much is given, much is expected. And being at the top is great, but staying at the top is the actual task. It's challenged me now to become more supportive, more present for people, to be as encouraging with feedback. So beyond just winning and giving talks about winning, it's how do I now inspire someone else to feel that they're definitely worthy of that stage? How do I be there for a person who's really trying to find a way to package themselves? Not that I'm great, it's just that I won because I worked through it. Everyone has every possible opportunity to win. Just put in the work. It's challenging me to put in a lot more work, because now people will be like, so she won. What exactly is the X factor about her? And that will always be a societal challenge. So the challenge that it has given me is to challenge and inspire many more people to feel that they are definitely worthy of that stage and to continue winning in small battles. While you think about the district conference, you're seeing the bigger stage, but behind the scenes, you have started at club level and you have told yourself from the club, the small community of maybe 15, 20 people, I want to give this a try. You're already expressing vulnerability. And Don once told me that when you get onto a stage, beyond just being a motivational speaker, this dig deep situation, it means being vulnerable. It means being scared. It means sharing in your perspectives, in your story for the world to see. So that is, first of all, a personal and mental battle that you have to contest with every single moment you get onto the stage. The second thing is, what do you want people to get out of you? I was going in there to give feedback. I was going in there to just have a lot of fun because of the humorous contest. But my international speech contest was passionate to me because where I work, people do not understand what cleft lip and cleft palate is. And I thought, why don't you seize this moment to create that awareness in the story of someone who has been through stigma and isolation and bullying? So I was taking this stage as a space to really create that necessary awareness that I felt was passionate to me. But at the same time, getting into my vulnerable space to feel like, hey, speaking to Toastmasters in East Africa is something else, but I'm going to do it anyway. So face the fear, do it anyway. Even you who is contesting has every opportunity in yourself to get onto that stage and win. Back to you, Pascalia.
All right. Thank you, Emily. What stands out for me are 3 things: staying power, tenacity, feeling the fear, and just doing it, because that's the hard stuff that Toastmasters are made of. You have no idea what goes on inside a person as they stand in front of an audience and just deliver. But best you believe me, as they come out of that place and they know they have made it, that is such an encouragement to somebody else. Thank you, Emily. Donald, back to you. Storytelling, engage, Toastmasters. What's the connection here? And especially to somebody who imagines that Toastmasters is simply about learning how to overcome the fear of public speaking and standing in front of people. Tell us, Bosire, what is it all about? What is the connection therein?
So it's a funny thing, and I just want to say that I was in Dar es Salaam to witness Emily winning all the contests. So I was privileged to be there. And as much as we're going to talk about it maybe a bit later, that Teacon is a fantastic festival, but we'll come back to that later.
Yeah.
I work in financial services, and it's the most interesting thing is the one thing that everybody thinks I am is that I work in communications, which is strange. Even within the bank where I work, everybody thinks I work in communications because of the additional roles I get to play that have to do with engagement, that have to do with all elements and aspects of communication. And when we talk about Toastmasters and that ability to transform one from the state, I mean, change management, and we say change management is the ability to move you from your current state to a future desired state. And that's what Toastmasters has done for me. It's funny how we were running a strategy session for the bank last week, 2 weeks ago. And when I host that session, because I'm in strategy, people come and they constantly ask, so how do I become a better speaker? Tell me more about Toastmasters, because it is the one brand that always stands out. I tell people, I'm a Toastmaster. Other than everything else that I do, everything else that I am, it's that they get this experience that is the differentiator that Toastmaster presents. And becoming a better speaker is not difficult. Becoming a better leader is not difficult, but it starts with this sort of deliberate effort that I want to become better at this. So the whole idea around Engage was really born out of my Toastmasters experience. And when Agatha and I, just to cut a very long story short, because we met at Sema Toastmasters, which is by the way, the greatest club in the world. Take that to the bank. And so when we met there, we thought, how do we expand, this amazing experience that we've had? Because Toastmasters really built something in us, a desire to take this experience outside of that Toastmasters space. And it was born out of the fact that we really did benefit from Toastmasters. And for those who are not Toastmasters who may be listening, it's a very simple premise. How do I become a better communicator? How do I become a better leader in an environment that is safe? But beyond that, once you benefit, how do you benefit others from that experience that Toastmasters has given you? And so when Engage was born, it was born out of the need, the desire to take the benefit out of the Toastmasters environment, take it outside there. How do we get people to tell stories? How do we get to share things that have defined us, experiences that have built us, things that we have managed to get through for the edification of others? And in many ways, that's the essence of Toastmasters, that we're not just there for ourselves to build skills for ourselves. We're there to build skills that then impact not just our leadership abilities, but also our ability to connect and engage with other people, with our families, with our staff, with society at different levels. And for us at Engage, really, storytelling is about connection, it's about experience, again, it's about impact. And to me, where we merge between the experience at Toastmasters, at Engage, and even at my role at work, is the ability to create impact and connect to people in a way that really shows us that we're all the same. We have the same experiences. We have the same fears. We have the same anxieties. We have the same victories. We desire to win like Emily did. And these things bring us together. And what Toastmasters and Engage has done is really provide a melting point for these experiences. Pascalia?
Fantastic, Donald. I really, really appreciate it. Finding the melting point between who you are as a person, what your profession is, and how you can utilize what you learn in Toastmasters and apply it out there for the benefit of society. Just one small correction, Donald. Kwanzaa Kenya still happens to be the best club in East Africa. Take that to the bank. To you, Eric.
Sorry. So sorry, Pascalia. Do you notice that Rafiki Toastmasters has outnumbered you both? I'm just putting it out there. Rafiki Toastmasters has outnumbered, but I'm just saying. Yeah. Back to you.
We'll take up that conversation in a while, but remember, it's Kwanzaa Kenya. Kwanzaa, the first one. Back to you, Eric Mureithi. Having attended I assume it's many previous Teacon meetings, how have you established your network, and how has it worked for you at your professional level and even as a person? Eric?
Thank you for that question, Pascalia. I'm very tempted to get into the conversation of the Greetings Club, but let me rise above that temptation like the leader that Toastmasters has occasioned me to be. Teacon, I've attended at least 2 in-person conferences for Teacon and 2 virtual ones. And Teacon it's like the grand finale of Toastmasters. Teacon is where everybody from everywhere finally meets. And you don't want to miss Teacon because there's some energy about Teacon that you don't find at the club. You know, it's like a summit to the highest mountain. You know, it's the peak. It's when we get to the peak and we experience the best of the best, the creme de la creme. And I don't know if Teacon is where I've gotten the networks. I think for me, it's the summit itself. You know, it's working in the club, going to the area, going to the division, and finally meeting at the district. And we also want to sell that experience. We want to invite our friends, our relatives, our haters to the experience as it boils up, you know, as it crescendos. I'm a serious ambassador for Toastmasters. I've brought my wife to Toastmasters. I've brought my twin sister to Toastmasters. I've brought my brother-in-law to Toastmasters. I've brought my cousin to Toastmasters. I literally live the dream. And I think we need to do that as ambassadors. But talking about Teacon is where we all come finally and meet everybody from East Africa. And there's a Nigerian saying that says, I'll try and imitate the accent, that you cannot be a gecko in Lagos and expect to be a crocodile in New York. You know, many of us think we're amazing, but we're village heroes. You know, you could be amazing, you're doing so well, but something happens when you go to a global stage. You know, suddenly your Kenyan jokes cannot be understood by the Rwandese because they don't get the sheng, they don't get the slang, you know, and you've got to have jokes that the Ugandans can laugh at. And when you get the Ugandans and the Ethiopians and the Burundians to laugh at the same joke, then now you are starting to attain regional and global status. And that's a place we need to get to, you know, where your skills have global appeal. And how about we start with African appeal, where we think as Pan-Africans, even as a timekeeper. If you're a timekeeper for a contest in the district, you're speaking to 6 countries, and that does something to you. You know, your club, you are speaking to guys who like you, and even if you're not doing so well, they're gonna clap. But this is East Africa, you know. Now you're speaking to 6 countries. You're probably speaking to 300 tribes, and that does something to you. And I think every Toastmaster from East Africa should aspire to get to that stage. And talking about networks, now these are people who are professionals in 6 countries. If you run a business like I do, you start getting curious about selling your products and your services to 6 countries. And there's an immense opportunity. And if you're not married, like Donald, you probably want to consider getting an Ethiopian wife because these Kenyans are boring. You know, you meet these guys like in Emily, and they have an attitude, and there's very many humble Ugandans who are going to kneel down and serve you on their knees. You know, so I think there's so much opportunity from a personal perspective, relational perspective, business perspective, and just mind-opening perspective to come to that kind of stage. And I could say so many things, but there's so many levels of opportunity with coming to an East African stage. Back to you, Kelly. Back to you, sorry, Pascalia.
Thank you so much, Eric. There's so much that we've picked from there as to why each and every one of us, a Toastmaster or non-Toastmaster, needs to be at the Teacon, not just professionally, but as you've heard from him, there's a lot more personal benefits that come from that. So why not give it a try and let's meet at the Teacon in Mombasa. Emily, are non-Toastmasters invited for the Teacon? And how would they benefit from such an experience, seeing that they're not Toastmasters?
Thank you. Good question. Yes, absolutely. There's a saying that I really, really love that says that when you fly with four eagles, you're the fifth. So why not be in the same room as people that you aspire to become, that you aspire to be with? And just like Eric has said, there's the networks that you build over time. You can't start building relationships and expect them to last just because you are a Teacon. You start to build them because you're aspiring for something. You're aspiring to either be a better leader, you're aspiring to be a better communicator, even aspiring to grow your enterprise or even in your organization. So yes, absolutely. If you are a non-Toastmasters, please come to Mombasa. Let's enjoy the warm, sunny beaches, Pride Inn, sip on some juices and drinks, listen to phenomenal conversations, laugh at humorous contest jokes, and really be there, especially be present for those who are facing the fear and doing it anyway. So it's a lot. It's a lot of some of these experiences you can't quite put in money because then you can't quantify the price of experience. So I'm encouraging anyone who's not a Toastmasters, please come. We have space for you. There's going to be posters that will be put out for how much it will cost, but you get better benefit if you are a Toastmasters member. Back to you, Pascalia.
Thank you very much, Emily. For anyone who is listening in and you're not a Toastmaster, there's no better time for you to become a Toastmaster than this time, because as they have explained, the benefits are humongous and you will leave the Teacon meeting different and you'll wonder, where have I been all this time? Donald, over to you. Kindly let us know which has been your most impactful Teacon meeting and why? And why would you want us to come for that Teacon meeting based on the experiences you've had in the past?
First, I want to tell those who are not Toastmasters, the greatest benefit of Toastmasters is how not to be Eric Muridi. It's a fantastic thing that you learn. And I know my youthful smashing looks make Eric believe that I'm single, but Eric, I've been married for 22 years. I know maybe that's yeah, I know, Eric, but still, from your lips to God's ears about Ethiopians and all. Now, I really think I just want to reiterate what Emily said, and now on a serious note about why you should seriously consider Teacon. And I think for me, Dar es Salaam was a fantastic experience. Number one, because it's a beautiful city. It was a great space. I met many people, and this is after a long while. I had not attended, partly because of COVID, I had not attended an in-person Teacon for a long time, for a while, maybe 3 years. It was a fantastic way to meet people. Again, and Eric said it very well, that the only way you measure your ability in anything is when you meet people at a higher level. When you move beyond being a village boy or a village girl and then move to the big city and start interacting with people who've had numerous experiences or at different skill levels. If you're not interacting with people who are better than yourself, you will not grow. And that's what Teacon does, because then you meet people who are at a higher level who challenge you, and it's a fantastic experience. So for me, Dar es Salaam was fantastic because of the great city, but also it was a fantastic program. It was a speaking festival. There was interactions and engagement, not just within the Teacon space at the hotel where we held the conference, but there was a social aspect. People went out, people ate out, people mingled and interacted at different levels, and it was a fantastic experience. You get to meet people who maybe sometimes you've only met online as Toastmasters, and you get to engage in a way that helps you connect better. When you don't connect with people, then you do not appreciate their experiences, and you're not in a position to better tell your own story. Again, I'll say if all you've done is grown up in the village, then the sort of stories you tell will just be village stories. Sort of experience you tell will just be experiences from the village. But in the same way as a speaker, if all the experience you have is just at work, or just in your Toastmasters club, or just at the local level, then you are denying yourself the opportunity to level up, to up your game, to enhance your skill, And that's what Teacon does. So for me, Dar es Salaam was fantastic. And indeed, I look forward to Mombasa because it's yet another opportunity, again, to level up, to meet new people, and to grow my ability. Pascal.
Wow, thank you, Donald. An opportunity to level up, an opportunity to meet people who you can look up to and say, oh, this is how Eric looks like, or this is how Emily is like off stage, and I want to be like her, because you inspire people by your physical presence, and by you being there, you learn much more. It's not just about having fun, but it's about growing your personal brand and becoming a better person. My last question to Eric. For a member who has never ever attended a Teacon conference, tell me the reason why that is an experience not to be missed out. Eric.
There's 4 million plus people who've been transformed by the Toastmasters program around the world. Toastmasters is in 160 or even more clubs around the world. And all these people have become better communicators and better leaders. There's a Swahili saying, I'll say it, then I'll translate it. It says that ukitaka kufaulu, anzia juu. It means if you want to be successful, start from the top. Ambition is a good thing. It's good to see what greatness looks like. Then start building from where you are to greatness. And that's the kind of purview that Teacon gives you. It gives you a view of the best of communicators and leaders in East Africa. And they say seeing is believing, because we could say anything we want to say, but when you see it, when you experience it, and that's the thing about Toastmasters, it's not a theory. If you wanted to learn theory on leadership or communication, you're better off with a master's degree from the university. But if you want to experience it, it's like swimming and riding a bike and driving. I could tell you everything about swimming, put your hands forward, okay, now take them back. But when you get in the water is when the real swimming begins. And Teacon is the same. You see real people swimming in high waters. These are deep sea divers, not guys who are paddling in your baby pool or shallow end. These are real guys. They're in the deep end and they swim right across from Kenya, across the Indian Ocean to India. And they are human beings like you and me. And it does something to you when you see a fellow human being, especially a fellow African for us. It makes you believe that it's possible. So I'd say, even if you've never attended a Toastmasters meeting, come and witness the best of the best swimming in communication and leadership waters. I promise you, it will inspire you to at least want to be a tad bit better than what you've been in the past. So come, don't just hear about it, come and experience it for yourself, come and get inspired so that you can rise to the greatness that you're celebrating. Thank you very much. Back to you, Pascal.
Fantastic, Eric. It's all about the experience. You can't keep on saying your mom cooks the best food unless you've gone out there and tasted somebody else's food. And it's also about swimming with the sharks. How else will you learn how to move into the deep seas unless you join the sharks and you realize, they can swim and so can I. As we start drawing close to an end, I'd like to open this to Emily, Donald, and Eric. What's your parting shot? What did you tell people about the importance, in a nutshell, of Teacon, and why would you encourage them to not miss Teacon 2024?
I guess I'll go first. Every time I look at my trophies, all three of them, I look at the people who were there. You do not win in Toastmasters by yourself. There's nothing more beautiful than people showing up for you. There's nothing more exhilarating to anyone than when you say, help me, and they ask, how can I help? Toastmasters East Africa Conference is how can I help on a magnitude of East Africa scale. It's how can I help to Kenya, to Rwanda, to Uganda, Burundi. It's how can I help by showing up. It's how can I help by smiling at you and cheering you on. It's how can I help by noticing that you're scared, but giving you the motivation to keep going. For me as a winner, it's thank you to everyone who was there, who took their time, took their budget to be at a conference where they were in a space that they have seen their communities, their friends they haven't seen in a long time. But for the contestants, let me especially encourage those who are going to go on that stage. Go in there feeling like a winner. Go in there owning that stage. Because when you said help me from the moment you got onto Toastmasters, it was a cry for I want to be better. And when you get onto that stage, it's to say, thank you for allowing me to get onto this stage. One of 6 in this contest, one of 20 something in the entire contest. So I'm encouraging everyone who's thinking, I don't have the budget. Like I said earlier, there's no price to experience, and there's no better experience that you can have than being at a space where you feel safe, where you feel you can be yourself, and people are saying, how can I help? So help me help you. Back to you, Pascalia.
Thank you so much. Help me to help you, Emily. It's about family. It's about friendship. It's about having shoulders that you can stand on and be able to see farther than you ever thought you could ever be able to see. Thank you, Emily. Donald, what's your parting shot?
Every so often, accountants, if you belong to ISPAC, they usually meet, usually in Mombasa at Whitesons, to have an annual conference. And these are accountants, and we know what they do. They're in financial services. Every so often, lawyers meet to discuss, to grow whatever it is they feel they need to grow as lawyers. If you've attended an ISPAC conference, or one for lawyers, or one for procurement professionals, you'll find that they don't just discuss the new accounting standard, or new laws, or the new procurement regulations. The 2 things they always have is, how do you communicate better? How do you lead better? These are accountants and lawyers and procurement people. Now, everybody has recognized the need to lead and communicate better. Think about it. If accountants think they need to do that, how much more for you and I, who have made a deliberate effort to improve our communication and leadership skills? I think we're not at the point whereby we're trying to sell the need for you to become a better communicator or a better leader. I am sure you have been able to establish that for yourself. What we are saying is, what is your deliberate attempt to grow that skill? How are you consciously taking steps to grow it? Now, and then of course, when you're growing, you have to grow it at the highest levels. I think my parting shot is this. If you have not yet made a decision to grow that skill, make that decision now. If you have, then you need to up your game and take it to the next level. And what Teacon does then is to showcase leadership and communication at the highest levels. And one of the things we talk about in organizations when we have a vision, the vision is always to become better, to operate at the highest level, to benchmark against the best standards. And if you really want to operate at that highest level, to grow that skill to the greatest standard that can be benchmarked against, then you will not miss Teacon. And this is not just a sales speech, because I'm actually not even organizing Teacon. What I know is it's drawn from experience. The fact that if wanasema ukitaka kula nguruwe chagua yule aliyenona. Teacon is this fat pig. It's the best part of that pig. Now, if you don't like pig, pick whatever it is that works for you. And just think about, if you need to level up, do it at the highest level where it will be of greatest benefit. And I look forward, because I'm going to be there, I look forward to meeting everybody there. Pascalia.
Thank you so much, Donald. One thing that is coming out very strongly is the fact that leadership and communication are life skills which are spread across the board. You can't do without them. You can't live without them. And that is why, as we go to Teacon 2024, you will be able to realize as a professional, whichever cadre of professional you are in, you need to level up on your communication and leadership skills. Eric Moretti, your parting shot.
First of all, I'm looking forward to eating that fat pig at Teacon. Apart from that, Toastmasters has been around for 100 years, a century. And I feel there's a lot of effort that's gone from the Americans to grow this club, to take it to Britain. When you go to India, the clubs there are thriving. You have clubs in United Arab Emirates. And I think it's time us as Africans took the baton. We are very good at taking initiatives that happen out there and localizing them, and surrounding it with 20 friends and keeping it among the 20 friends. And I think that's our problem as Africans sometimes. Something that's supposed to be liberal, we hold it like this, And I think the onus is on us to take this 100-year tradition and let it make a difference to many people. When I was club director for East Africa, I learned something, an interesting statistic. Toastmaster research shows that most people who attend club meetings have been personally invited by a club member. They didn't come because they saw a Facebook post or a WhatsApp story. And even the ones that they see it from somebody they know. And the clubs grow from invitation. I sit here, I almost casually invited Emily to a Toastmasters meeting, and she's a triple champion. What if you had a guarantee, or if there was a chance that somebody you introduced would become the next president? Wouldn't you be proud that you introduced them to Toastmasters? And that's a power of introduction. And I'd like us to understand that power, that you just introduced somebody. They get on the platform and they run so hard. They become the next senator, governor, president, member of parliament, CEO, and you stand back there and you're beaming with pride. Not because you taught them, not because you mentored them, not because you coached them, you merely introduced them. And I'd like to send that challenge to East Africa to understand that there's power in an introduction. So don't hold that power and keep it in your bedroom. Use that power as liberally as you can, because 10 years from now, you just might be proud that you brought somebody who became the biggest thing yet. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Emily, Donald, and Eric. I don't think I'd have had a better trio than you, because you've expounded it so aptly to anyone, and anyone who had any doubts thinking, that amount of money is a bit too much. Like Emily said, no amount of money can be equated to the experience that you get from a Teacon meeting. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Teacon 2024. From the 9th to 11th of May, 2024, at the Pride Inn Paradise Hotel, Mombasa. Now, this is definitely a must attend, as you have heard it from our beautiful and very elaborate panelists. Best you believe me, ladies and gentlemen, it is a game changer, and you don't have to be told. Let's go and experience it. For your information, the early bird tickets are already on sale. And for real-time registration, the link will be shared out shortly. We also have a very dedicated WhatsApp link where all the information and all the logistics concerning regarding this conference will be shared out. And as we come to an end of this very, very auspicious meeting that we've had this morning, I want to appreciate Emily Manjeru, Donald Bosire, Eric Morethi. Thank you very, very much to my able panelists for your time, your dedication, your commitment, and your love in doing what needs to be done for this very worthy cause. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters District 114, and to all our distinguished guests who've joined us today, see you see you at the Teacon 2024 Mombasa Raha. Here we come. Adios, everyone, and have yourselves a very blessed day ahead. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Pascalia. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
See you at Teacon.
Yeah. Let's meet in Mombasa. Bye-bye. God willing. You're free to leave the meeting. Thank you.